Kevin and Sarah Darling from Tex Barbecue Rubs. Do I have that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for joining us. You are this month's Bet on a Vet featured business.
Happy to be here.
And Sarah, you were in the Navy. How long were you in the Navy, and where were you stationed?
I was in the Navy for 5 years. And after I got out of boot camp and my training, my first duty station was in La Maddalena, Italy. It's a small island north of the island of Sardinia that is west of the boot. It's actually no longer a Navy base. It's been shut down. And then from there, I went to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and I stayed there for the rest of my time.
Oh, wow. So when you transitioned out, were you and Kevin dating at the time, married?
No.
Okay, so you guys met up. How did the barbecue business come about?
We both really loved barbecue, and one Christmas I got the family together and got him a smoker, and things just kind of started off from there, where he started smoking and we started getting ideas. He smoked nuts for a little while and did that, and we were actually looking at starting to try and bottle some of our barbecue sauces that we made. And then everything got put on hold with the mosquito fire. And about the day after the mosquito fire started, he looked at me and said, I really want to cook for the people who were evacuated. And I looked at him and said, okay, let's do it. And so we started our first night where we did hamburgers and hot dogs in front of Save Mart in Auburn. And it grew from there. And from that, we met up with some other people who are
Gold Country
Cares, and we teamed up with them. And then we put together a night where we smoked pork butts to make pulled pork sandwiches for everybody. And that was the night that we fed 1,000 people that night. And we met you guys, and we met Alan, who talked to Kevin about it and said, I can actually get you to bottle rubs easier than I can sauces. And so we changed course and started talking with him, and we got our first rub bottled on Valentine's Day. So after we picked up all the bottles, we went out to dinner. And then
priorities.
Right. we got them on shelves by the end of February this year. And now we have 3 rubs that are on market. They're for sale on our website and in some stores in the Sacramento area.
That's amazing. Was it tough at all to switch from sauces to rubs? I mean, you have somebody that's going to help you, but at the same time, how invested were you in your sauces at that point?
We weren't married to it. It was something that I had perfected over time and kind of had them where I wanted them to be. And so for me, that's where I was comfortable. I had messed with my own rubs at home and never really thought about doing that. But when the opportunity presented itself and we met up with Alan during the mosquito fire, he owns his own production facility. And so it was cheaper and quicker to go that route. So I just fine-tuned some of the ones that I had already used before, and we found some really good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the kind of people we're dealing with today. Sarah and Kevin Darling, hearts as big as all outdoors. You fed 1,000 people in the mosquito fire, and it didn't start that way, but you kept going. You cannot believe how much food it takes. I remember seeing the pictures, you guys posting all the pictures. We just barely were kind of on the outside looking in, and then Tom went up and hung out with you guys, and the manpower that it took to kind of deliver all of that. Did you guys even sleep that weekend?
I don't think we got good sleep until everybody went home.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a long 3 weeks.
How many meals? I'm trying to remember, and I've got some outrageous number in my head. I want to see if I'm like wildly off. Do you remember how many people you ended up serving in the time that you were putting those folks out from the mosquito fire?
Total meals was over 19,000.
Yeah.
Over 3 weeks.
I was thinking, but I was like, that seems like a lot. It was a lot. It was really incredible. We had a lot of listeners who were donating. Sarah, how does your time in the military inform your business decision making now and making a go of a small business?
Well, while I was in the military, I was law enforcement. It's called a Master at Arms in the Navy. And so it's just putting forth your best effort and doing what's right. And so in translation to the business, it is doing the same thing. We wanted to do things the right way. We want to do things to where it's a good product. My son is a type 1 diabetic and he's insulin dependent. And we are very aware that people are sensitive to sugars and salts and rubs. And even though we have an salt, pepper, garlic rub, an SPG, it's lower in sodium than most that are on the market. And then our sassy swine, our pork rub, is low in sugar. So we can use that on any rub, anything, pork, chicken, whatever. And my son can have it without having to count that in what he eats as well. And so we wanted to make sure that we took those things into consideration and just doing it to where it's a product that we are proud of, that we know that people can enjoy, and it doesn't take away from the flavor. Because to us, that's what's doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be tricky.
Yeah.
It can be.
There's a lot of research and development that goes on, but everybody stays well fed.
Okay.
Well, we thank you guys for taking time today. I know that we're having images scroll across the screen while we do this interview of your product and what you do. And some of the images are from the mosquito fire last year, which is how we got to know you guys. And just thank you so much for being the good in this region.
Absolutely. We love where we live, and it's an honor to get out and serve. I'm actually in the process of planning a charity barbecue rib cook-off to where 100% of the ticket proceeds will go to the charities that the competitors are cooking for. And even, I don't want to call them the last place finisher, but the bottom finisher will still get at least 10% of the ticket earnings going to their charity. So everybody comes out a winner.
Well, sounds like there's going to be a lot of good food. So you please let us know when that happens.
Hey, follow us on Instagram. We're doing stuff. We're on vacation right now, but as soon as we get back, we've got demos lined up all the way through September.
Yeah, people want to order your rubs or find out more about that. How do they get a hold of you?
Out at Tex Barbecue Rubs on Instagram. That's CALTEX BBQRUBS, and caltexbarbecue.us is our website. All orders right now are put on hold until we get back, but as soon as we're back, we'll ship everything out.
All right. Again, Kevin and Sarah, thank you, especially for doing this when you're on vacation.
Yeah.
So
It's our pleasure. We can't thank you guys enough for everything that you've done to help us. So it's good to give back to you guys as well.
Yes.
we appreciate you. And again, Sarah, thank you for your service. We
Thank you.
appreciate that too as well. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
See you in a bit.
Good to talk to you. Bye.